Well, I've got a craft show coming up very soon, and I want to crack out some quick products that I'm hoping are going to sell really well. Now, I haven't got too much time to be decorating and doing all the things with them, but I do want to decorate them. So this is going to be really showing you what I'm going to do using this brilliant new product, Resincrete. I've got a few videos on this. Absolutely blimmin' love it. And then what I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to really do quite a few of these with different patterns on that are going to take no time at all. And I'm sure, again, these are going to sell really well, fly off the shelves. I recently did a video as well showing you how to use this technique with metal foil in resin, and it is superb. Check that video out if you haven't already seen it. I'll link it in the description below. You'll love this technique. I want to see if that works for this as well, because I think if it does, I'm going to get some great results coming through with my Resincrete. So as normal, I'm going to mix my Resincrete up. I like to mix mine up in the 100 of the powder to 30 of the water. It cures a little bit quicker. You get a little less pot time with it. In the summer, I'll probably increase the water because then it will give me a little bit more time with it, and this does go such a long way as well. So I've got my silver, gold and all other coloured leaves here, and I'm randomly going to put that on. I'm not sure if this is going to work. It might be trying to push it a little bit too far, but we will see. I've not lost anything other than a few sheets of this, and I love trying out new things, as you know. Then once that's on there, the static on there will keep that attached really well to that mould. I'm only going to put random colours over in some random shapes. I do love this technique for resin though, as you saw. I mean, it's beautiful, and I literally discovered this, as I said in the other video, just completely by accident. Sometimes it does pay to be a messy crafter. Well, I'm all mixed up now, and as I've said before in previous videos, I panicked when I first saw how runny this was, but actually it needs to be this runny. That is exactly how it should be. All you need to do now is pour this Resincrete into your mould slowly, because you don't want to add any bubbles to it if you can avoid it, and then let it fill right up. There we go. So that's one, and again for the second one, pour nice and slowly. I will link this in the description below, and don't forget I've got a 30% discount on this Resincrete as well, which is amazing discount. And I think I've got enough left over to make another one, so let's do another little bowl. Oh, I have. I mixed up too much. And then once I've got everything filled up, while it's still in this runny state, I just go round and do some tapping. I can't do jiggly wiggly because it's not going to allow me to do that. Because if I do too much jiggly wiggly while it's still runny, then it's just going to pour out. And this will be cured really hard enough to come out of these molds within about 20 minutes. Now, for those people that were asking me in my previous video, is this just plaster of Paris or is this just cement? No, it's absolutely not. It's all natural. Absolutely, it's an all natural product, but it couldn't be any different to cement and plaster of Paris, and eco-friendly as well. Environmentally friendly. What could be better? So now we're going to leave those for 20 minutes to cure up, and then I'll show you what they look like. Hopefully this will work. I don't hold out too much hope, but I've lost nothing. I love a good experiment. These are all firm now. Didn't take long, about 20 minutes. What I'm going to do is take them out, but be ultra careful at this stage because they are still fragile. They're still damp, but they are demoldable. It's like all these sorts of things. It's really important to give this about 24 hours to fully dry once you've taken it out of the mold. This one is going to be a little bit more precarious, I think. Oh no. But as you can see, I'm taking it out really gently. I'm trying not to put any pressure whatsoever onto the actual casting. All I'm doing is trying to get it on the mould. Now, it doesn't look like that. Oh, some of it's stuck in there and some of it didn't. Yeah, I don't think that's going to come out. That is quite pretty. It's kind of given it a glittery look on the surface. Not how I hoped it would turn out, but I didn't think it would work. But I can't not try these things. Now, this is quite a stiff mould. And again, I'm going to have to be ultra careful with taking this one out because I certainly don't want to break it. Once you've got a little bit of it released, it is a little bit easier to start peeling it back. But come tomorrow, once I'm going to seal these, then what you'll find is they will be lovely and hard. Probably lovely and hard within about 10 hours, actually. Oh, that one's come out a bit better. It's very sparkly. I quite like that. That's quite pretty. But I think the better way to put this sort of stuff onto your castings is the way I did it in a previous video on my other channel. But we're not finished there. The next thing that I want to do, which was always my intention with these anyway, is add some temporary tattoos. Now I'm going to add these temporary tattoos now and then let it all dry before I seal them tomorrow, and I'll show you that as well. Now, temporary tattoos are really easy to use and so easy to get hold of as well. I absolutely love them. Now, there's just a couple of things that you need to be aware of when using temporary tattoos. Is one, you must always take this bit of plastic off that comes on the face of them, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you will seal your tattoo lovely. When you come to take it off, it will have stuck to that bit of plastic and not to the item that you want. Then gently push them down like this so that they're adhering to it, and then I use a spray bottle, give it a quick spray so the backing is completely covered, and then I work that down and I leave that about 20 to 30 seconds, which should be enough. I can always tell by just pulling a little bit back, and then I push down with a cloth. Don't go too hard, you don't want to be breaking this, don't forget. And then once that's had a long enough time to soak, all you need to do is gently pull back that backing. It should come away really easily. Get rid of any of that excess water. Gently with a dry, soft cloth, tap over the top, and there's your tattoo on your Resincrete. And because Resincrete is such a lovely, good white colour, that will shine through lovely. I mean, look at that. That's really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to finish these all off, putting the tattoos on them, and then I'll show you how I seal them and get them ready for sale. These have been drying overnight now, and I'm really pleased with how they've come out. I actually quite like the effect that the metal leaf gives on these, and they're all ready to be sealed now. The white one is really, really prominent. I do love that image as well. I think that looks cracking. Going to finish this one off with a border of Fairy Tale Iridescent Blue by Arteza. It depends if I can paint this on, because I do tend to be messy, as you know. And having a tremor, if I get my tremor bad as I'm thinking about it, then it may just come in. I wouldn't paint on these until they've been curing for probably 12 hours, just to give them that extra time. And it paints on there absolutely beautifully. Look, I will give it 2 coats. Well, this one's all finished now and it's ready to be sealed. I love that look of that paint, that iridescent paint on the edge there. Now, this one I'm going to seal differently to the others, because I'm going to sell this one as one to use for putting your keys in and things like that. The one I'm going to seal the bottom of this one is this low viscosity J-Diction UV Resin. The reason is it won't give it a dome too much. It'll give it a nice flat protection, and it's an 80D hardness, so it's very hard, so people putting their keys in it aren't going to chip away at the picture. Don't need much. Look how lovely and light that is. All I'm going to do is give it enough to make sure it completely covers the whole of the bottom. And the reason I'm using UV resin and not normal epoxy resin is because all these sort of products are a porous product, and what will happen is when the 24 hours that it takes for your epoxy resin to cure, it will release bubbles, air bubbles that are inside the product, and that will then give you not a nice effect. You'll have a bubbly effect in it, unless you've sealed it first. Now, the easiest way to seal these I've found is by using a polyurethane varnish. Now, I particularly like the semi-gloss one or the satin finish, but you can have a gloss finish if you want, and this seals on here absolutely beautiful. And I find that the satin finish or the gloss finish, if you want to use that, really makes everything shine and sparkle lovely. I will give it 2 coats inside and out. It just gives it that little bit more protection. But look how pretty that is already, and it isn't even dried. And it'll really make this flower pop having a bit of gloss on there. I'll go ahead, I'll finish those off, and once they're done, I will show you all 3 how they look when they're finished. Well, there we go, they're all complete. This is lovely and cured now and really hard. as well, and that's going to give that a great protection. But as you can see, as I used the correct low viscosity UV resin, it hasn't domed it, which is what you want. You want it nice and flat. And these have all dried really well. Beautiful and shiny now. They've got that semi-gloss to them, and the same with the flowers. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this technique, or I think it gives a different kind of effect to it. And not as successful as I would like it to have been, but I quite like the glittery look to it. And it's always good to try something else. Don't forget to boot that like button and to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Check out the video that's coming up next. I think you'll really enjoy that one, and I'd love to see you over there. And don't forget, I've got a massive discount for this in the description below. That's 30% off. Currently, it's only available in the USA, and I'm sure they're going to release it at other places, and as soon as they do, I'll let you know. Take care, enjoy your resin and your Resincrete. Bye.